Residential market. We closed out January with 617 active listings and 123 new properties hit the market. That's a 49% increase from last month. Buyers were busy. 108 homes went under contract and 82 sold with a median price of $630,000. Here's the breakdown. 38 homes sold under $600,000. 26 homes closed between $600,000 and $999,000, and 18 luxury homes over $1 million found new owners. Land market. If you've been dreaming of owning land, you've got options. 421 parcels were available in January. 42 new listings came on the market, 27 buyers went under contract, and 24 buyers officially became landowners. The commercial market. January wrapped up with 95 active commercial listings. 12 new properties hit the market, 5 deals are pending, and 7 celebrated purchasing new commercial properties. Status update, not every property sticks. 17 homes were withdrawn, 39 expired, and 53 canceled listings. And here's a big one, 126 price reductions from last month. January set the stage for an exciting season ahead. Market activity is gaining momentum and busy season is just around the corner. Stay tuned for more updates. And if you have questions, just reach out. Let's make your real estate goals happen in 2025.
Hey there, folks. Welcome to the Flathead Valley Market Recap. Holly, thank you so much for delivering the numbers.
You're very welcome.
Did you notice anything? We just want to talk a little bit about the numbers. Did you see anything in there?
Yeah, we did. 2 key points that I noticed were the price improvements or price reductions. We saw a 32% increase, and new listings to market, 49%.
Okay. Well, new listings coming to the market is very normal in January. Price reductions, that's something that probably a lot of people had their house on the market through the holidays, and they're probably trying to beat those increase in price, increase in those listings.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So, yeah. So anyway, I mean, numbers, we can talk about numbers all day. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. Like, we'd love to talk about the numbers, we do. But we have something really important we want to talk about, especially in the new year. And that's equity in people's homes. Something that I wanted to bring up because we've had a lot of different talks with so many different clients about, when they bought, right? And everyone's unique. Everyone's situation's like, it doesn't matter what it is, it's individualized, right? And so we look at those folks that might be kind of handcuffed to their rate. And those are the people that really bought like in 2020 through 2022, because those interest rates were anywhere, I think I saw 2.25 and like up to like.
Incredible.
It's not probably going to happen again.
Nope,
right?
Unfortunately.
And so people are like, oh my gosh, I have this great interest rate, I can't move. And
there's
some
that
of
hesitancy.
Some of it's a reality, right? Some of it is. We've dealt with people and we had listing appointments where we've told people it's not a good idea to do this right now.
Right, absolutely.
You can't make this lateral move. It's going to be hard for you to move anywhere. And those are specifically the people probably that bought in 2022. But there's also people that just refinance their homes, and so I guess like after the market crash, really from like 2014 all the way up, it started appreciating again. But we really saw heavy appreciation in 2020. We all saw that. We were part of it.
Yes.
And so anyway, you go back to that home appreciation, that equity people have, and there is that, like I said, the refinance person. I'm going to go back to that real quick. They might have $200,000, $300,000 equity in their home, and they kind of maybe don't even know it, and that's an asset.
Absolutely,
right? And then we also have those folks that never even refinanced. Right? Those folks that it was just like, we just went through the whole, pandemic and everything, and all of a sudden they just like don't realize they have $400,000 in equity in their home. So it's hard to talk about that to people, but giving them an honest opinion instead of saying like, I just want to sell your house. Yes, you should move right now. That's not a reality in our business.
It has to be unique to each person, and it is unique to each person. And then knowledge is power. So getting that knowledge about your asset.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We also have worked with what I call like the life cycle of real estate, right?
Yes.
And we kind of determined yesterday in our little meeting, we were talking about it. We're like, I think it's these 4 things, and we might have made up one of the words, but we did whatever. And those are the first-time home buyer, step-up buyer, called the legacy buyer, and then the downsizer.
Yeah.
Right? And all of them have these different things in their life cycle of real estate where they have different equities for a different purpose, and it's their real estate piggy bank.
Yes.
Right? And I know we've worked with all of them. You've been one of them.
We both have been
We have.
in that cycle. My personal experience is the first-time home buyer. So I was in my mid-20s when I purchased my first home. I was a single mom living in a tiny apartment, and it was a really big move. I had no idea what real estate would bring me when I went through that experience of purchasing for the first time as a first-time home buyer. And I don't think a lot of young individuals do. So that leads me to an experience I had with one of my clients. And
Oh, I know who that one is.
yeah, and this is one of my favorite ones to talk about because I relate so much with it. He's also in his early to mid-20s, local, went to Flathead High School, and we met about a year prior to him purchasing.
Okay.
And he put the purchase on hold. He was very hesitant about it because it's such a big deal. So I saw him again about a year later, and I was at my property that I purchased in my mid-20s, and he was there to blow out my sprinklers and just get the irrigation ready. Or not blow them out. He was there to get them ready for the season.
Okay.
I started talking to him about how his search was going, and he ended up purchasing his first home that fall
That's so awesome.
in his early 20s. Spent the whole next year working on renovating it, and then I had the opportunity to see it a year later.
Wasn't that just like a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And this incredible what he did, because it was a fixer-upper. That's what he could afford. But completely renovated it, and as he was walking me through this beautiful home that he has created now for him and his fiance to start their family in. I mean, what an incredible story. And that is the beginning of the real estate life cycle.
Well, and that what's interesting about that is that, you know, we talked with that gentleman. We're not going to name names.
Right.
But, you know, he already has equity now that he actually did that renovation, right? I mean, so there's something there already.
Substantial.
But, you know, who knows where he and his new fiance are going to go.
Right.
And that kind of leads us into our step-up buyer.
Exactly.
Right, and that's the next experience. And I actually have a client that it was actually really cool because they bought their house in 2016 on the east side of Kalispell. I met with them, and they were looking for another house on the east side, which was hard to find in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're in 2021, and we're searching. But the thing is, like, they had a ton of equity in their home, and I mean, I saw what they put down when they actually bought this other house. But they were growing. I mean, Mama was pregnant. They had a little baby. You know, so they were growing out of it, and they just wanted to stay where they wanted to stay. And they were so surprised when we were actually able to get that amount for them. And it wasn't just us doing that. I mean, they did all that work. We just happened to be like, hey, this is what it's worth, and we're able to sell it for you at this price.
That's the knowledge piece.
Right.
Where a lot of buyers are missing that. Just knowing what they can do with the asset that they have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then, well, let's see if they, I mean, well, 10 years later, let's bring me into the mix.
Okay, sure.
Right? So like maybe I've done the first time home buyer, then we've done the step up.
Yeah.
And Carly and I, you know, I mean, we've got 2 out of the house right now. We still have a little Oliver, but he's way bigger than me, actually in our house at this time. So if we were just like, okay, we want to purchase maybe some acreage, maybe a bigger house, maybe some bigger views, whatever it is, like we could probably do that with the equity we have in our home. We're not choosing to do that at this moment, but if we wanted to, that's where we would go. And then we'd probably live in that house for another 10 years. And then all of a sudden, Oliver's gone. They're all gone. Arlen, my grandson's getting older. Yeah. And we're just like, we want to go to Hawaii and live in a condo. And we take that equity from all those years. I mean, back to when we were 22, 23, whenever we bought our house, all the way up. And then we have that downsizer. And there's this big chunk of money in there. And I could buy that condo with cash.
Right.
I mean, right? And so that's that real estate piggy bank that I think people really need to know about. And you had mentioned something too about, what is it? There's different options too. It's not just like those steps in place, but there's steps in between, like, you know, doing investments. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, 100%. And so that's what my first home that I purchased in my early 20s became. So I chose not to sell, and instead it is bringing me in passive income, and I bought a second home. And so that's helping pay my mortgage on that.
Perfect.
And so there's different ways to go about it. But either way, they're building equity and leading me up into that downsize, maybe another 20 years.
Totally. Well, I mean, this story, like, obviously we're going to say equity a million times, right? But what I want to do, I want our team to do, and this is something I learned from like a coaching program, just being in like immersed in Keller Williams too, and like their morals and what they want people to do is like, be good real estate professionals. Don't just be a real estate agent, be a real estate advisor. And the thing is, we need to be in the process of home management, just like a financial advisor would.
That's a huge asset.
It is.
Yeah.
And so like, I mean, call us for a CMA or evaluation on your home. Like, I think everyone should get one at least every year, but we don't care if you do it every month or 6 months.
We enjoy doing them.
It actually helps us with the market knowledge. So like we're actually better when we're in it, moving in it. So anyway, gosh, this is good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
I love talking about equity and just the life cycle because it is just something that had I known in my early 20s. I mean, I just off the whim purchased a home. I had no idea where it would bring me. And so for me, I'm very passionate about trying to educate young individuals to get into home ownership as soon as they can, because that will create the equity for you to live out so many opportunities. Well, the cycle that we just talked about.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, so personal stories, stories of our clients. I mean, that's just what we love to do. And this is fun. Like, this is why we're having this kind of organic conversation. And I don't know how many times you said equity. You can count it. You can make it into
That would be fun.
You can make it into a game if you want to, right? I know. So let's talk about something great next month.
Yeah, for sure.
Does it sound like a good idea?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for joining me.
Awesome.
Oh, we're doing that.
Okay, high five.
Oh, thanks.